play with me, let it, yeah. Halo on me, Sailor Rock, yeah. Got me with school, keep one, move, yeah. You my little baby boo, girl. I love you like my favorite color blue, girl. Real spill, yeah. I'd rather be a broke, real, still rich. Fall in love with her. She just wanna be in VIP with her. Don't blame me, oh, niggas shame me. Had to get it how I got it on my phone.
Hello, everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Vikings going up against the Steelers. For the call, let's send you out to the broadcast booth, where we'll join our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the steel capital of the world, Pittsburgh, PA, and Heinz Field. A few moments ago, the Steeler offensive starters, including all-pro wideout Antonio Brown, were introduced. And they've got this crowd in a frenzy as they get set to square off with the Minnesota Vikings. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Guyton. Charles, we look at this Steeler ball club entering play. They come in off a loss in the opener last week. That one was on the road. Now they get their first taste here of home cooking.
And what they're hoping to do is feed off the energy of the home crowd. Great tailgate, great fan support. Let's see if they can put it to good use.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column. Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one. To return, here comes Marcus Sherrills. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. The former Oklahoma Sooner will be leading the charge in his 8th season now under center Sam Bradford.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
And right away, he lost the football.
Plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
Minnesota had a very optimistic vision of what they would do on offense in 2016, but a couple of key injuries altered that landscape. Running back Adrian Peterson and quarterback Teddy Bridgewater. That led to them scrambling throughout the season to try and fit together their offense, try to put the running game and a new passing game together, and instead of that...
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Stephon Tuitt. He's the one that gets him down. It'll be a loss of 5, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Here's Ryan Quigley now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now Brown. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So the Steelers offense getting set for their first drive. And they'll be led out by Big Ben, their veteran quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger.
I loved his quote during the week. If I were a defensive back, I would have wanted to play against me last week as well. He's trying to eliminate those turnovers, those interceptions, and get back on the positive side of the ledger throwing touchdown passes.
Yeah, had 4 of those picks, led to the loss. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
That run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
Pittsburgh has long prided itself on being a defense-first team, but if you look at the last 3, 4, 5 seasons, it's been their offense that's led them. In 2016, they were 7th overall in total offense, and they can hit you through the air, on the ground. No matter what they do, they're hard to prepare for.
Fullback try and push the pile. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. Just a gain of a couple, but good enough to keep the drive rolling.
3rd and 1, who are you going to call? Not the scat back. You go with the big man. Hand him the ball and let him get upfield and pick up a first down.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now a first down carry by Bell. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
So when you call a corner blitz, what a lot of teams call a cat blitz, you're expected to come after the quarterback, but in this case, he ran into the ball carrier. Really nice technique, because what you do is you come deep as the deepest offensive player, so he can't get outside of you.
And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. And a look at the Vikings defensive unit.
Minnesota head coach Mike Zimmer made his reputation as a defensive coordinator in this league, and that did not change in 2016. His team finished 3rd overall in total defense, and despite many injuries, kept his team in the playoff hunt throughout the season.
And they'll need the 39 here for a first. This is 3rd down. The play clock's running down. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. Man open left side is Brown. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he is going to feel that one. Knocked down hard at the 36. Give him 5 on the play there. And it's good enough for a Pittsburgh first down.
4th and 1. This is what fullbacks live for. They're always the guys with all the marks on their helmets because they love sticking their heads in there to fight for the tough yards. And he gets the tough yards here to give his guys a first down.
Time running out here on the play clock. Now it's Roethlisberger. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. This secondary, Charles, much maligned during the week. They didn't have their best game in the loss last week, but a nice play there.
Yeah, and I just know what they went through last week. I mean, ever since that time, their pride was hurt. They kept getting reminded of it in the local media, had to watch it on tape, and you know the coaches just got after them. They came in ready to play.
A screen to Bell. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback. that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I think a lot of people are a little bit surprised there that they ran the draw after that successful pass play previously, but the thought process had to be, maybe we can catch them rushing the passer and hit something big with the running play.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 0-0 our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a second and long to start things out. And the seemingly endless drive continues. Roethlisberger now off the bootleg. Rolling to his right. And this is incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And now it's third down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Here we go.
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. Goes underneath for Bell. And they'll get 10 there, but it leaves them just short for fourth down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
So they get 3. They were hoping for 6. An unlucky number 13 play drive.
Well, you go to the sideline after putting 3 points on the board, happy, but you wanted to be ecstatic. You wanted to have 6 on the board. On the opposite sideline, though, the defense, I think they're high-fiving each other, only giving up 3 after letting them run that much offense.
A reminder, coming up tonight, Green Bay visits Atlanta. All sorts of storylines there. A playoff rematch, also the opening of Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And then on Monday night, the Giants host the Lions.
So the Giants play on Sunday night and Monday night to open the season.
Yeah, 2 under the lights. On 1st and 10, Bradford. And Diggs has it. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play there on the catch and run. 48 yards.
A lot of receivers see the drag route as a risk-reward type of a play. The risk, going into the middle of the field where there's some big people who want to hit you. But the reward is oftentimes you get lost in coverage, running a little bit underneath. And when you catch it just right, as we just saw there, the end result can be a big, big play. Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far. And after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Now Bradford on second down. And Rudolph has it left side. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
You talk about a combo that works really well. Sam Bradford, short, dart-throwing quarterback, and Kyle Rudolph able to work the seams inside and make those tough catches.
Now Rudolph wound up shattering his career high with 83 catches last year, 3rd among NFL tight ends. Third and short yardage, Bradford. And Rudolph has got it. The big tight end for a Viking touchdown. Kyle Rudolph, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
And this is up and good to make it 7-3. Forbath out to kick this one away. This is taken just shy of the 10 here. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Bell is so good at that. He just catches so many passes near the line of scrimmage. In fact, the unique stat line for him last year, he had more yards after the catch than total receiving yards from the line of scrimmage on the season.
That doesn't even sound real, but when you analyze his game, you understand why a stat like that can occur. His ability to catch the ball, be elusive, and also strong enough to break tackles, that allows him to gain all that extra yardage. When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup. Nice job by that defensive front there to hold them to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Now Roethlisberger to throw on second down. Over the middle here to Brown. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first.
I know everyone wants that prototypical wide receiver, you know, the 6'3", 200-plus pound guy, like a Julio Jones and A.J. Green and Dez Bryant. Antonio Brown just shatters that, doesn't he? Smaller in stature, but still able to use his quickness, his elusiveness, and his strength to create big plays.
Roethlisberger with a give to Bell. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Heinz Field after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And that'll be incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete.
I think that's a big-time play there because the slant route is really hard to cover because the timing is so quick. But able to see it, diagnose it, and get to the football, that's why he was able to bat it away.
And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense, and over the post.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. A first down throw for Bradford. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. That was second down run for Murray. And he's got some space here. And all the way down to the 39. A big run that time by Murray. 46 yards on the ground. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a first down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. His throw caught right around the 6. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. Goal line offense, something they've really been emphasizing in practice lately. Now they have a chance here to put all that hard work to use. From the shotgun, it's Bradford. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
Again, it's Bradford. Trying to drop one in, but it's incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Third and goal, Bradford. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
And that lead is now 7 with a chance to go to 8 or more if they want to get crazy here, which we don't expect. But I just know the way the game's being played with the analytics, there's going to be a lot more of going for 2 in a lot of situations, isn't there?
Yeah, there's going to be. And I think their focus here, they don't want to give up anything going into the lockers on the other, and just a little bit of time left on the clock.
Yeah, they don't want to do anything to erase the good feeling they have right now by getting this late score in the half.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. On second down, here's Roethlisberger. This is Bell on the dump-off. The Steelers able to pick up 18 yards there.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's brought down. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. Roethlisberger got to get his guys to the line as quick as he can. Now Roethlisberger on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Andrew Sendejo. He's at the 30. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. So a pick six there out of the nickel package. They went with 5 DBs.
almost becoming the base package in the NFL is the nickel. Hard to throw against. That was demonstrated one more time. A pick six going the other way.
So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we send you down to our EA Sports Studios in Orlando, where we find our man Larry Ridley with our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, back to you guys in a minute. But first, it's indeed time for our EA Sports halftime report. The Steelers haven't played their best football and trail because of it. The Vikings have looked good on the road and will just try to keep the ball rolling in the second half. All right, let's roll the highlights. First and 10. Diggs has got nobody around him on the catch, and he'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to the 27-yard line. Third down from inside the 10. Bradford's going to find his mark. He caps off the 7-play drive with the score. The Vikings go up by 8. Nelson late in the first half. Bell's by himself here, and he'll eventually be brought down, but not before getting to the 47-yard line. Still late stages of the second. Roethlisberger's throw under pressure leads to the turnover. Vikings will take it back for the touchdown. The lead grows to 15. So that'll do it for us. We'll go back now to Pittsburgh for the second half.
Okay, Larry, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Now Roethlisberger. And Bryant's got it over the middle. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
It's a pickup of 3 that time, and it'll give the Steelers a first down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on first down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-rounder Trey Waynes. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
So statistically, both of these offenses having a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. Now a second down throw for Bradford. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
When you decide to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
On third down, Bradford. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. He gets it away, and I think they'll smartly play keep away here from Brown. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with a football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
Now Roethlisberger going to hand to Bell. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Play clock winding down. On second down, Roethlisberger. Over the middle, complete. That's Brown. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Well, this is how you shake the thoughts of that interception on the last drive. You come out and start this one 4 for 4.
And watching him throw it around with that type of confidence reminds me of a guy I played with way back when who told me, I don't care if I throw 10 interceptions in a row. I'm going to stay confident, keep flinging it. I'll just figure there's something wrong with the football.
They'll need to get the play off quickly. They snap it at 1. Now it's Roethlisberger. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Now Bell hit. He lost the football. And the offense is able to pounce on it inside the 5-yard line.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Elsewhere, they have gone to the second half in Carolina. And it's the Bills who are leading in that one. Tyrod Taylor, 2 touchdown passes to lead the way. First carry for James Conner. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. You know, projections for him were a little all over the board. Some saw him as a day 3 pick, maybe a little bit higher, but here he is, round 3.
I do know teams that had him listed as a first-round talent. I also had teams that had him listed as a day 3 guy, which is rounds 4 through 7. So him going in the third round kind of fit in the middle. I think he's going to have a chip on his shoulder wanting to prove that he should have been taken higher.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel department, college scouts, it all came together. They evaluated it very well and got a nice payoff.
Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. The quick slant caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Eli Rogers, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Steelers are able to cut into that deficit.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
And now in a 9-point game, they'll still just need to go for 1 here. The play clock's running down. As this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Boswell on now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession, and that was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick. Now he will take this all the way up past the 40-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game of the fourth.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the fourth quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the fourth quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error. Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment all the way because of the presence there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initials.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Emerson Griffin in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. And now out comes Minnesota. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. It's Floyd on the right. I think he's going to go. Michael Floyd. Touchdown, Vikings. Michael Floyd, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And, Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, and even better run for big yardage.
the Steelers set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's brought down. The passing game in rhythm right now for Pittsburgh. There's another first down. On first down, it's Roethlisberger. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jonathan Newsom. Coming hard from that linebacker spot. He drops him for a loss of 11. And there they bring pressure from the inside, and they get home.
Yeah, hard to block everyone, isn't it? And on this play, someone did not get blocked. He's the one who got home.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. They get 16 out of...
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Here we go. It's Roethlisberger on fourth down. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And Big Ben intercepted a third time. Picked off by Anderson Aho. That is now seven interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on, and maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Space to maneuver at the 40, the 40, the 30, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Latavius Murray, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
Things are rocking easy here in the 4th quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt. And here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. Forbath out to kick this one away. On the return, it's Niall Davis. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. To throw here, Roethlisberger. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. Goes underneath for Bell. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. Again, it's Roethlisberger. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Here's Roethlisberger. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Anderson Aho. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
12 yards there as they move the chains. This defense, Charles, they have unraveled here in the 4th.
In a sense, it's like they're being pressed like in a basketball game, and they just can't get the ball over half court. I mean, no matter what they do, they can't get off the field. They can't slow them down. They're just going up and down the field against them. Yeah, unraveling would be a perfect word for them.
That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up 1st and goal. And the offense in a great spot. It's 1st and goal from... And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Latavius Murray, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the interception by the Vikings D leads to a touchdown.
I've got to laugh here, and I really don't want to because the old school in me is not happy about this score this late, not necessary. But this is Madden, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is how it works.
Rub it in. Have a day.
I mean, what does it matter? These guys who are playing in this game, there are no feelings
Exactly.
there.
They don't have to face the guy. Well, they might if they're in the same room going head-to-head.
But that's
the
about
virtual guys on the screen don't have to face each other after this one.
In that case, run it up.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. One last shot for Roethlisberger. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is dropped it incomplete. Well, there's a metaphor for how this one is gone as time has run out on this ball game. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Minnesota, there was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they will head home next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at Soldier Field with the Chicago Bears. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we sign off from Heinz Field.